Sorry about that. Check, testing, check. What's going on YouTube? Check, check, check. 1 2 1 2. Checking the mic, checking the sound. All right, we good. We good. Can't find it. Can't find it. It's good. Give me a second. Okay. Here we go. Outlier. Outlier. Get outlier. But hope you and your family, friends, and lovers are doing well today. We are back. I'm back with another live stream here. Not gonna be on here too long because again, it is my weekend off. I want to enjoy my last of these 2 days. Rest, relax, do a couple things around the house, and just enjoy it till I pretty much go back to work this week coming. Hold on, I'm clicking on the wrong thing. Man, I really need to stop playing around, and because tennis is like a really fun sport to watch, and I need to stop slacking on watching. All right. Now, let's get ready to get it. Try to see if we can get some wins today. Definitely a bit of a downtick yesterday. We only hit on, I think, like 3 or 4 things out of the 6 or 7 that I put out yesterday. It was just one of those Saturdays. But you got to figure it's, you know, it's the weekend of the All-Star break, or the MLB coming back, and you know, anything can happen. Stuff can look like it's going straight, and then it goes left to right, and then, you know, you're donezo. I want to say 7. What was it? 7 or 8 of the home teams won yesterday. Maybe a little bit more. What's going on? What is good? Good morning. Hope you're doing well today. Yeah, I want to say 7-9, something like that, of the home teams won yesterday for the MLB. Out of the entire slate, several of those games went over, I think, or under, or something like that. Let me just double check to make sure that I'm saying that correctly. Hold on, give me a second here. Well, no, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 games went under. Like I said, most of the home teams won yesterday, and now we're here on Sunday, and the question becomes, what's going to happen today? I'm just not sure. You know what I mean? There's several games today. There's potential for, from what I've seen so far, from what I looked at as far as data, for at least just the first 3 or 4 games. There's potential for unders to hit again. What's going on, Rascal? What's going on? Good morning. Hope you're doing well today. Welcome to the stream. So, you know, just be, and again, it's Sunday. Sundays are always weird, just all across the board with any type of sport, any type of anything. Anything's possible for anything to happen. Like I said, most of the home teams won yesterday. There's a chance that I could flip today and most of the away teams win and most of the overs hit, or most of the away teams win and still most of the unders hit today. So just kind of be cautious. And again, most of y'all know me. I always push more for single bets, more team props than anything. And the hope is that any type of player prop or parlay that I put together, that will hopefully cash. And as I always say, if you do tell my picks, bet low, because when you're looking at a lot of my picks and you really pay attention to a lot of my stuff, a lot of times, a lot of the picks, like I said, a lot of times they go left in an instant, and it's literally going in the direction that I want. And it happens all the time. And in MLB, the NBA, college football, and NFL, I've seen this happen over the course of the last, even just year and a half, where a lot of my picks more recently have been almost hitting and then they don't hit. And that's why I have such a losing record that I have, because the reads are there. It's just stuff happens late game or whatever, in the middle of the game, and it is what it is. You just, you know what I'm saying, you just accept for what it is. I mean, of course, we know that, you know, I mean, some of the players are out there betting on themselves, and now they're getting caught for betting on themselves. But it's sports. But enough of my rambling. Like I mentioned, I didn't post it in the free spot. I did post a WNBA slip. I did post it in our Discord here. It did cash. I took the fire to cover the spread that hit. I took the White Sox. They didn't win. They lost 1-0. Didn't seem scoring any runs. Kind of thinking that they should score runs today, but still, I kind of think that the under is going to hit. I did take the full game under 8.5. That's what I got. So the hope is that this game will go under, but maybe the White Sox win 3-2 or something like that. But we'll see, because Trey's on the mound, Sean's on the mound. We'll see about that. And the other pick that I do have is Boston and Tampa Bay, first 5 over, right? Make sure that I made that right connection, right? Hold on, give me a second. Be sure to click that invite link pinned in the comments. Well, not pinned, but join us here on WAP.com. So I apologize. It's the Braves and Rangers. That's what it is. Braves and Rangers is first 5 over. Now this game, I really wanted to take the over first 5. I really wanted to take the under first 5. The only thing that I could find is potential for the Red Sox to score 3 runs in the first 5. That's what I feel is the best bet, because really not sure what Tampa's going to do. But Atlanta and Rangers, first 5 over, seems like the best spot, simply because they have been hitting at a high rate for the first 5 over. And again, this is Outlier. I did share the link as well with that. If you don't have Outlier, click that one, join the Outlier there through my link. So Eovaldi's pitching, Holmes is pitching. So when Holmes pitches, the first 5 overs hit 70%. At home when he's pitching, 70%. But when Eovaldi is pitching, 60% to the over, but 60% to the under on the road. So the question becomes, what's going to happen in this game? Is the over-under going to actually come through in the first 5? Like I said, I just decided to go with the first 5 over. And the other reason why I did is because, look at this, head-to-head, they are 4-1, 4 straight overs in the last out of the last 5 meetings, back-to-back in this series. kind of feel like that could be the case where they do score 5 runs again in the first 5. But also, too, like I said, I did take Atlanta to score 3 runs in the first 5, just as a side bet. It was plus 145. It dipped up to plus 150, but then it dipped back down to plus 145 because I started looking at other stuff, and then I came back like 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes later, and it dipped back down to plus 145. I didn't post it, but I'm just letting you know that I did take that as a side bet. And if you want to take that as a side bet, it is plus value for the Braves to score 5 runs. Now, it dipped down. It's no longer 145, it's 135 on Fanatics. If you have Hard Rock, plus 125. So some people beside myself have been putting some stuff towards it. Again, 3 and 2 when they're at home. Consistent. Look at that, 70%, but consistently 7 straight, 3 or higher. And you can even coincide with them facing off against a righty. Literally, same thing, 70%. So I just said I'm gonna just go on ahead, and I apologize. No, I apologize. That wasn't it. But you could still maybe potentially take the Braves on that. I meant the Red Sox, not the Braves. Red Sox 3, so it is a plus 145. Still plus 145. Head to head, 3 straight this series. They were knocking on the door in the last series early in the month, and when they're at home versus a lefty, they're struggling. So I'm taking a chance. I'm going to take a chance. This is, like I said, side pick. But that's that. But let's talk about the very first game. My hope is that, because I really wanted to take the White Sox on the money line, my hope is that they will switch up. They will get 4 or 5 runs today. That's the hope. But with Sean pitching, who struggles against lefties, Trey pitches, he struggles against righties, but he's struggling more with fly ball percentage against lefties. And White Sox has a plethora, bunch of lefties. Maybe 1 or 2 of these batters hit a home run early in the game in the first 5 before he comes off the mound, and then you just worry about whatever other pitcher comes from the bullpen. Sean, the Blue Jays they technically have 2, 3, 4, 6 batters plus value as far as their batting average. Jimenez is knocking on the door at the 250-ish mark for them to be in the green. I'm just wondering if the Blue Jays are potentially still gonna get runs today against Sean, because he's getting a lot of strikeouts. So if you want to take him for a strikeouts, it's 6 minus 102 on FanDuel. The only thing is he struggles to throw his slider and his sinker. Those are his other 2 pitches that he throws the most. He does allow some hits, and he doesn't allow that much runs. 1-1, but this was last year where he allowed 6, so he only allowed 1 against Toronto on the 4th of April. But altogether, he really doesn't allow that many hits or runs, excuse me. So I'm just kind of wondering if he can shut down this Toronto Blue Jays squad in the first 5 and whatever pitcher comes through. That's why I kind of feel like White Sox will bounce back. They'll get the runs that they couldn't get yesterday. But at the same time, with Trey, he doesn't strike out that much. He allows a little bit of hitting, and he's allowed some earned runs, but not that much. He pitches really well against lefty and righty batters, but he doesn't allow that many home runs. And like I said, he too is allowing fly ball percentage to lefty batters. The question becomes, is Murakami going to potentially do something? He hits righty pitchers. He does hit the 4-seam. He does not like the splitter, and he does not like the slider. And then you look at Colson, same thing. He hits righty pitchers. He bats much better against lefties, but he doesn't like the 4-seam, splitter, or the slider at all. So I'm worried about him not potentially showing up today. Miguel, same thing. He hits, but it's just he struggles against the 4-seam. He can hit the slider, and he doesn't bat well against the splitter. So my wonder, my worry, my ponder is what kind of White Sox team you're going to get in this very first game. That's why I said I went with the full game under 8.5, because you know what I'm saying, there may not be that much production from the White Sox, and also too from the Blue Jays. If there are, and the White Sox don't score that many runs, the under may be more of a push, and that's why I decided to take it. So if anything, Sam is a look. Of course, he didn't do anything yesterday. He technically is, like, once again, best batter on the squad. He hits the four seam in a splitter, so you're good there. So I would look towards him to get double hits, maybe a single or two. His single is minus 120. Lean more towards the under on the single. So if you feel like he wouldn't get a single, then take it. Tristan, another batter who, on paper, is once again another best batter on the board or on the squad. He's hitting everything. So maybe you look towards Tristan for 2 total base plus 200 though, because they're believing that. I want to say they're believing that Trey's gonna just like strike out the White Sox, shut him down, because he's like doing this thing with the splitter. It's just the four seam he struggles with the most, and he very, very rarely throws his slider. So most of what you're going to see from him is the four seam and the splitter. The question becomes, is Tristan going to get on base, get 1 or 2 runs in while Trey is on the mound? That's the question. Braden, he's been fairly okay in the last 5, but on the back end, earlier he was struggling. He too hits righty pitchers. He too hits the four seam, but he doesn't like the splitter. So what else could you really find in this game? That's really up to you. If you feel like any of the Blue Jays are going to do anything, take Ernie. Maybe you take Vlad. He had 2 hits yesterday, 3 total base. He had 1 single. He had 3 HRR, but he only has 1 hit against Sean, which was a single. He only struck out once. Again, this is 19 pitches thrown his way in 3 at-bats. He's hitting the four seam and the sinker. Varsho, could he potentially do something? Yes and no. He had 2 total base yesterday, a hit, no single. What, 2 HRR? Nope, just 1 HRR. No hits against Sean. And again, we got to remember, it's a Sunday. Anything can happen. Like I said, White Sox may actually wake up and actually score some runs. Maybe the over still hits, but I'm just thinking out loud of what I've seen from the data itself, and hoping that things and the trends that I've looked up and watched or looked up and seen will indeed go that route. But I still want to believe that the White Sox will bounce back today and finish out. I want to say this is the final game of the series too. It's just that I'm just, worried about everything. What's really going to happen in this first game? Because it's coming up not that far away. Look at Luke. He hits great on Sunday. So maybe you take Nate for 2 total base. Plus 172. Maybe you take him for 2 hits. Plus 298. That's really great value. If you feel like he'll get 2 singles, it's plus 532. Maybe. You never know. He did it once. HRR is a plus 111. Maybe you take that because of the number itself. I don't know if he'll get 3 or not. Head to head, he's like in the middle. More so, 4 and 6 in the last 10 meetings on the season. 0 and 3 though. Maybe he shows up today. And it also too, it looks like, literally looks like, as far as home runs are concerned, the White Sox are the better choices because of the value of their odds. More specifically, the top 3. Everybody else is like a Kazuma might 354. He's like the second best. Because technically, what would it be? It would be Varsho because it's 588. Great value. Then Andrew for 525. Maybe Hill 2, hit 1. Maybe Miguel, maybe Colson, maybe Murakami. Because we really don't know what's going to happen in this first game. But that's pretty much that. That's pretty much all I could break down for that one. I didn't even really look at this game for the Yankees and the Dodgers here. I know that they postponed the game. I think are they doing a doubleheader today? They are. Late game, last game of on the board. And maybe this was so this has to be the redo game up top. Super early. Let me see. Yamamoto, because I can't even remember who was the starting pitchers for that game before it got postponed. Let me double check here. Let me see. Doesn't say. So it has to be, these have to be the slated pitchers for the original game from yesterday. 79 degrees, no rain. Of course, on paper, Dodgers are looking like the better team to come out and do something. A lot of people were upset that the game got postponed, but hey, it is what it is. There was a lot of rain in New York. There was a lot of rain here in my city, even over here in my neighborhood. If you, because Cam is, he's pitching, Yamamoto's pitching, no data though. He only struggles throwing his curve, which he doesn't even throw that much. And Cam, he doesn't struggle. He only struggles throwing his cutter and a little bit of his curve as well. Let me see. More of the push would be lefties. So Freeman, Muncy, Dalton, Tucker, Alex, Tommy, and even Alfonso. Let me look at Freddie, because he's like technically he's the best batter on the board. Batting average wise. He has no data versus Cam. And Cam can't even tell what he does. I can tell. I can look it up. It's right here on my phone. So Cam, he has a 9-5 record. Yamamoto 9-6. Yamamoto has 106 Ks. Cam has 137. Yamamoto's ERA is 285. Cam's is 205. So both pitchers are pretty much like elite. Cam, literally in the last 5, he only had 2 games where he allowed 5 hits. That was June 30th, June 25th. He allowed 6 earned runs on the 30th against Detroit. And literally, then we're talking about the last 5. That's the only game where he allowed higher than 2 runs. On June 11th against Washington, he allowed 4. This was the most recent game that he pitched, and he allowed 2 runs against Washington. Outside of that, it's either 1 or none in the last 5 games. Yamamoto, for him, 3 games in the last 5 hits or more, and only 1 game where he allowed more than once again, like I said, 3 or 2, which was again same day, June 11th against Arizona. He allowed 6 earned runs that day. So I kind of think that there's potential for maybe a first 5 under. Maybe. Again, we just don't know what's really going to happen. It's an early game too. Early games can be a bit of a funny spot to really try to gauge. The under has hit more for the Dodgers for the Yankees than the Dodgers. So when Yamamoto's pitching 5 straight unders on the road, 3-2 in the last 5. So then Cam, he's also 3-2. Well, excuse me. He's 3-2 in the last 5. At home, same thing, 3-2. Now, we got to look at the head-to-head. Let's see what they've done just in general. So, over 3, but that was last year. But it went under on the 17th from 2 days ago. Maybe you take the under. Technically, it would be... They're actually giving you, what, 4? So 4 minus 140, a little bit of juice. If you feel like it would go under at 3, 4 plus value plus 105. I mean, I don't have any other sports, but I have DraftKings, FanDuel, Fanatics. I would say maybe you take the under just because of it's a new season. You know what I mean? Both teams, technically, the Yankees really haven't been themselves more recently. We know the Dodgers have been up and down, but they've been struggling more recently. It's a Sunday though, so just be kind of cautious on what you decide to do. I would say lean towards the under just in case, because at least it's been hitting for both teams just in general. It's just like I said, the Dodgers, they're hitting at the over 70%. They're facing off against Cam though. Cam just does not he literally is like, let's see at home, because I'm not sure if Yamamoto, let me look at Yamamoto here. I'm not sure if Yamamoto would allow. He only allowed 2 teams to get 3 runs, all in the last 10 starts. Cam, when it's pertaining to the opponent, 1, 2, 3 teams hit 3 runs or higher. So yeah, literally, I really feel like the first 500 would hit under the 4. Again, they did it more recently. That's what I'm thinking. So there may be potential that maybe you look towards Cody Bellinger. I don't know if there's any motivation behind for him. I know that he did something recently, and I'm like, well, maybe that will be a motivation. He did something like won something or did something more recently, so maybe look towards him for potential 2 total bases, 3 HRR type of thing, or 2 HRR, a couple of hits or a single or something like that. Maybe you can't forget about the bottom of the batting order. You still got Ahmed, you still got Jose. Maybe Jose does something. He hits righty pitchers, which is good. He's hitting the splitter and the sinker, so this is a positive look. But can he read any of Yamamoto's pitches for this game? That's the question. And of course, Ben Rice, always a look. His only hit in the first at bat that he had, which was 10 pitches thrown, he hit a home run. Can't really say that that's like definitive data for you to be like, okay, he should hit one today. If you feel like he'll do it, take him, because he's technically positive, and like literally his splits are pretty much green. So, and he hits on Sundays. 55 at bats, 6 home runs on a Sunday. Let me look at Paul just in case. He's been struggling. He bats much better against lefty pitchers, but only 1 home run higher. He does not like the splitter or the sinker. So if you feel like maybe you take Paul for a couple of strikeouts, maybe Paul strikes out 2 times today, that should be plus value. Maybe even just 1 strikeout, maybe a plus value. Because currently there's no data for the Yankees. There's none for the Dodgers too in this first game currently. I know I'm super early on this tip for this game, but I'm just thinking out loud. Like I mentioned, Ben, maybe you take Paul for strikeouts, Cody for total bases and stuff like that. But you can't forget about Jose and Ahmad, because they may show up and do something. Really can't forget about Austin, because he's so random with his. Even Jason here, he's sometimey. But I don't know. Like I said, I'm thinking more of an under for the total. First 5 under is my main read for the game. Freddie, like I said, he's a look. Let me look at Dalton. He hits righties outside of his batting average, 243. He's hitting the four seam, but he doesn't like the cutter, but he likes the sinker. So that's at least something, but he's not throwing the sinker that much. So you're really looking at if he's going to be able to read any of the four seam or the sinker. And he's throwing the four seam a lot. Tommy? Well, Tommy may not play. That's the thing. He's hitting righties. He's hitting the four seam, cutter, and the sinker. Positive. He's hitting on the road. He doesn't like the day, though. Only 1 hit on the day. That's not good. 1 hit on a Sunday. Not good. But he hits righties. So everything outside of him during the day and on Sunday is only downside for Tommy. But maybe you take him for a hit and parlay him with maybe Freddie or something like that. Maybe Andy. He hits better against lefties. He's struggling versus technically struggled versus the four seam. He's hitting the sinker and he's hitting the cutter. Day, he struggles. No, he hits on the road. Remember, even if it's 250 or whatever, the batter's still positive. It's a short downtick from it literally being this light green. So it has to be like 256 is when it has to be more of a positive look. But he technically does hit. He just doesn't like Sundays. And he's hitting in the 2-hole. Oh, well, hold on. Hold on, give me a second. Did they see? Okay, they gave a lineup for Boston. Hold on. Because they gave something for your boy. So the lineup has been made. Give me a second. Let me see something real quick. Lineup. Here we go. Grisham's lead off, Ben's in the 2-hole. Bellinger's batting 4. Okay. The Jazz is batting 6. All right. And they just okay, here we go. All right. So of course Tawny's he's DHing, but he's batting first. Andy's in the 2-hole, Freddie's in the 3-hole, Betts is 4th, Muncy, okay. And Boston, was that the only? Okay, we got a couple of lineup spots here. All right. So maybe you take, like I said, maybe you take Sam for some stuff. Maybe Ernie. Maybe you parlay Ernie and Sam for 2 total base or 2 to 3 HRR. Maybe you do parlay them to get a home run. Maybe they smack one out the park. You can try Murakami and Luke's because they're batting in the 2-hole, but it just depends on what's going to happen. But the day Abreu's batting 3rd. Because I have Abreu and Wong. Wong's pitching 9th, so that should be a benefit for him. I have Abreu and Wong for 1 hit each on a parlay, little 2-leg. So just giving y'all some ideas a little bit. Okay. And he bats great, batting 3rd. Okay. That's pretty much that. Like I said, this game, really feeling the first 5 under. This game I didn't look at all. Mets and Philly. I know let me say Philly won 6-1 yesterday. Give me a second. One moment. Oh, I lost the sub. It's okay. What am I looking at? Here we go. Yeah, Philly won 6-1, right? Yeah, they won 6-1 yesterday. It's a little bit of an equal, but really, to be honest, Mets have a little bit of a slight edge. 2, 3, 4, 5. They got 4 because there's really no guarantee that Derek would bat. I'm just going off of the batting average. Yeah, literally Mets look a little bit better. Let me see. Allen Rangel. 5 straight strikeout spots. 5 straight, averaging just shy of 5. 4.4 strikeouts in the last 5 starts. He struggles against lefty batters. In that time, he did allow some hits, 4 hits. And he only allowed 2 earned runs. 4 here, 3 here. They do have a plethora of lefties, so I'm kind of liking the Mets to score some runs. Let's see what their run spot is. They're giving them 5. Remember yesterday I talked about the Rockies and I was like kind of finding it weird and strange that they were giving them 6 runs, but I did take them on the money line as a main pick. It cashed because they blew them out. So today, if they're playing today, I would say maybe you take the under, maybe. I just don't know if I really don't see Colorado scoring. What was it? 10 runs back to back. You know what I mean? I can maybe see them scoring 4 at minimum. But for the Mets, they're giving them 5. So minus 110, great value. Well, good enough value, should I say. Head-to-head, they don't really score that much runs. They are, in the last 5 meetings, averaging 5, but it's only because of the 10-7 here from earlier in the month. Hold on. Okay, this is the road. So technically, in the last 5, they're only averaging around like 4 or close to 4 because of the 6. I don't know if they're actually gonna get the no data for McLean. Really? Against them? Well, no, pause. That's against them. Let me see. Let me look at this. Break this down. McLean on the road when he's pitching. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 games of 4 runs or higher. Technically, we're looking at potential 5 runs. So 5 games. Nothing too consistent though. They're usually getting 3 though. Philly, when Rangel's pitching, it was against us. They only scored 1 run. I can't remember who pitched that day when we played against Philly on the road. I can find out. That's June 1st. That's the beginning of the month. Oh, excuse me, July 1st. Fascinating. There it goes. So they got the, never mind. I'm looking at the wrong thing. So I don't think he was the starting pitcher that day. I could be wrong. Okay, Jared Jones was a starting pitcher. He pitched 4 innings, only allowed 2 hits, 1 earned run, 6 Ks. And then, of course, Rangel, 4 innings pitched, 3 hits, no earned runs, 4 strikeouts. I'm wondering. As I'm saying, I feel like it could be a potential under spot again, but maybe the Mets bounce back. Head-to-head, when the Mets are on the road against Philly, 58% to the over. But this year, 3-2 to the under. But 3 straight unders. So I'm kind of wondering. And the Mets only scored 1 game with 5, and that was the very first game of the series. Philly, 3 games with 5 runs or higher this year. I think they're giving Philly 5 runs too. What are giving them 4? Seems like a safer spot. Minus 135. Head-to-head, they usually get 4. On the road, I mean at home, they're usually getting 4. I did talk about that yesterday with them potentially getting the runs, but I just didn't take the spot. I'm just not sure if, you know what I mean, they're gonna get 4 runs today because it's Sunday. Is that storm? No. I was gonna say, I don't think it was supposed to rain today. Okay. So 1-1, 5 runs, basically 4 runs. This was on the 8th on the road, but they since he scored 11. I'm just not sure what I really want to do. Like I said, that's what I'm saying. Mets, more than lean is for them to bounce back and win. But I kind of do like Philly to get runs, but they potentially still lose. Maybe. Of course, Juan, as far as player props, Juan, maybe Brandon. He's a lefty. And he like Nolan struggles more against lefty batters. Sinker, four-seam curve, great spot. Struggles in the month. He hits on Sundays. He bats great versus righties. So maybe Brandon It's just he's struggled. Dog. He can't find his bat. Maybe today. Maybe. Even just in general, he's struggling in the last 5 Sundays. Again, maybe the under hits. Treya went back-to-back home runs. I'm still mad at myself. I looked at him, but I didn't see him hitting a home run yesterday. But he's actually having a great month. He actually bats the best on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Technically, Tuesday would be his best day to bat. And he bats well at home. It's just he struggles during the day. But again, he did hit a home run yesterday. He had 3 hits yesterday, 6 total bases, 2 singles, a home run, 7 HRR. He showed up yesterday. The question becomes, with him more than likely batting first, does he do anything today? Because he did a bunch of stuff yesterday. Kind of could see him kind of like go back down. Not sure if he would do any of this, but maybe he still gets 2 total base, plus 136, 2 HRR, minus 120. More of a lean is towards from the get it. I know Kyle went yesterday too. It disappeared. Like Kyle hit a home run yesterday. I didn't mention him yesterday. I was like, maybe you take Kyle. Like he probably potentially could go. He has no hits against Nolan. He does hit the sinker though, so that's good. He is hitting the 4-seam outside of the batting average. And no singles, just literally just the home run, 4 total bases, 5 HRR. I don't know. Maybe you just take him for the 2 HRR, plus 100 even. He bats great on Sundays, so due to this information, which we feel like he'll go again, take him again. I'm just not sure if he'll actually do it or not. It's plus 241. What was Treya's home run? I didn't even look at it. If he were to maybe say go for a 3rd straight day, plus 750. Love the value. Maybe just put a little bit down on Treya for the home run. Look at Alec. 2 total bases yesterday, 2 hits, basically 2 singles. He's a plus 4. It's my favorite number, 46. Plus 4, it's 63 for him to get 2 total base. They just updated New York's, what you call it? Plus, I guess, well, no. What would that be? If you took Bohm for 2, it would be plus 101. DraftKings plus 100 even. I don't see plus 101s hit that often, so just kind of be cautious with that if you were to take him for 2 HRR, because he may or may not get it. He has a positive. He has 2 hits against Nolan, which are singles, no doubles, no strikeouts, so that's good. Look at JT. I know it was this game. Was it this game? I think it was this game that I looked at him. Yeah, and I was like, well, maybe he gets a hit. It was on that hit parlay. And I didn't take him, and I was mad at myself that I didn't, because I had Kyle on the slip. But eventually he got the hit, but it still fell because it missed by 1. It was that 4 leg. He's still on a nice little stretch. 4 of the last 5 getting a hit. He does get hits against them. He's averaging 1 against them. He has no hits against Nolan. Struggling versus the sinker and the sweeper. Technically on the board, but a lot of the stuff that he sees, he's literally seeing the 4-seam the most, and he hits that the best. He does not like hitting on Sundays. I don't know, maybe you'd still take him for a hit. He might at least get that. That's what, minus 140. Look at this real quick. Minus 148. Best value on DraftKings. Maybe you throw a little bit at him to get a hit. Maybe he'll get it. Just kind of wondering. Bryce, he still hasn't hit a home run, and lately he's sort of kind of been doing some stuff in the last 5 with total bases, at least getting 4 straight hits, at least 1 in the last 5, 3 and 2 to getting 2 HRR in the last 5. Still head to head, he's green against them, averaging 3 HRR. Minus 108, super small lean for him to get it. I can see why that is, because he only has 1 single against Nolan. He hits righties, he's hitting the sinker in the 4-seam, so maybe you parlay Harper. He doesn't like hitting on Sundays though, but still, maybe you take Harper for a hit, and maybe you take JT for a hit. That would be, again, this is more on the riskier side though, because we're talking about 2 batters that struggle against Nolan. But today's a new day. Maybe they get at least a hit against him. That's plus 150 on DraftKings. I really don't like Underdog just because I can't use it. They have much better value over there. But again, maybe they get a hit. Let me look over here. Carson, is he still on a nice little? No, he's not. Literally, this is the only time he got that 1 hit that I needed. He really still hasn't done anything in the last 5. He's 0-2 against Allen. I don't know, guys. Maybe an under for this whole game. Matter of fact, let me give me a second. Who's that? Just another tool that I use. Let's go Mets record versus Phillies on Sunday. Gotta spell it right. All time. 80 and 112 all time. But let's break it down to the last 6 seasons. 10 and 11. Literally. They were 10 and 10. Well, no, excuse me. 10, well, yeah, maybe 10 and 10 the last Sunday that they played. They lost 5-4. This is just on the season. And then lost 6-2. So that was them at Philly here this year. Again, they get 4 runs here, but they only got 2 here. And let's break it down one more. Them on the road, 4 and 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of the. So 8 and 4, or excuse me, 8 and 6, or 8 and 5, right? No, 8 and 4 to the under in the series all time at Philly. The under is hit. Mets have only scored 5 runs or higher. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times out of those 12 games. Philly, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times they've scored 5 runs or higher at home against the Mets. That's what I'm saying. I kind of really, well, actually it would be 4 runs, but really do feel like Philly could get the 4 runs, but I still want to believe that the Mets would bounce back today. But I'm probably going to take that as a side bet for, like I said, I got it queued up right. Probably going to take Philly to score at least 4 runs. See, Alvarez, I know he hit those back-to-back home runs here, but that was it. He's hitting the 4-seam and the changeup. He's not. I don't know if I would even want to. It's plus 130 for him to get 2. Love the value. It's great plus money value. It's just that head-to-head. That's the main reason why it's plus value like that. He too doesn't like Sundays. So I don't know. Yeah, all in all, potential under. Do like Philly for 4 runs. But I still, excuse me, Philly for 4 runs, but I still kind of think like the Mets could win today. but maybe they, you know what I mean, the under hits and they win like 4-2 or something like that. Wind is pushing in, but I really don't believe that's a factor for the game itself. I really don't feel like it would be if, say, there's a couple of home runs in the whole game, or maybe 3. What are we doing next? Tampa and Boston. So with this game, like I mentioned, I was really considering the over first 5. Let's double check. Because like I said, it was the first few games I looked at before I got on here. Or was it the under? Let me see. When you pitch on the road, 56% to the over. When you pitch Sonny Gray at home, 75% to the under. Again, this is the first 5. Only 3 games they scored 3 runs. That's right, because I forgot that fast. I did take Boston to score 3 runs in the first 5 innings. Plus value, plus 145. I'm just taking the chance. That's literally the best read that I found for this game. Could the over hit? Yes, there's a chance. But 56%, but it's just Sonny. He's 11-1 record. It's 50-50 when he pitches at home. Because what you're really relying on is Boston actually scoring 5 runs or higher, and them shutting down Tampa, who, just being honest, more recently Tampa has been sort of kind of struggling a little bit, but sort of kind of getting some runs in the last 5. It just depends on the spot and the team that they're playing against. In the head-to-head matchup, they just on the season scored 1, 2, 3, 4 times in the entire series against the Red Sox. 4 times they scored 4 runs or higher. Only 4. In the midst of all of that, Boston has scored 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times of getting 4 runs or higher. So if you believe that the over will hit, take the over. It just depends on what Sonny's going to do, because he's technically the best pitcher on the board. Maybe you look towards Sonny for his strikeouts, because he might be able to strike out the Rays today. That's the thing, he doesn't allow that many earned runs, and even against them, he only allowed 3 here. Now, technically, he had 1 here, then he allowed 2, then he allowed 3, so it was like a up spot. Could this roll over and switch back to them only getting 1 today? Possible. But this is what he did over the course of the last 2 seasons. So he technically has had their number. I'm just curious of how, if anything, is going to happen, because they have a bunch of lefties on the squad. Technically, you would look towards Jonathan. You would look towards Junior, because Junior can do anything against anybody. Your boy he's just a beast. So maybe Junior doesn't do anything today outside of getting a hit or 2, maybe a single. Maybe he doesn't hit a home run. He's 0-2 against Sonny currently, but we're talking about the basis of from, I want to say, last season. So yeah, head to head, he has 7 home runs in 28 matchups against them. So just 7, not that much to really work with. So he may or may not hit a home run against Sonny today. Now again, if he reads whatever and he sends it out of the park, congratulations, because his home run is a plus 285. So maybe you still look towards Junior on launching one out the park. Maybe Jonathan is a plus 490, so it was literally more than likely plus 500 hours ago. And of course, you can't forget about Yandy, plus 640, 11 of value for him. If you really want to feel like you could pour money towards Palacio or Fiducia, take them. That's great value. The question becomes, does Taylor bat today. He has no home runs currently versus righties. And Palacio technically is the best batter out of the three with the, their value at plus 1,000 and higher. He has 3 home runs versus righty pitchers all season. So it's really up to y'all if y'all really want to consider taking him. Like I mentioned, I took Abreu, I took Wong for a hit. I really wanted to take Contreras for a hit too, but I don't know if he's going to do anything today. Because he didn't do anything yesterday. 3-2 in the last 5. Technically, if you believe in the trend, he got it here, didn't get it, got it here, didn't get it. So potential spot for him to get a hit or 2, for him to get maybe 3 total bases today. Plus 234 for 3. How many HRR? He's technically usually getting 5. So if you want to take him for 3 plus 167. He's hitting during the day, hitting at home, in the month, on Sundays. This is his best day to bat. So maybe today is the day that he actually does something. And he literally hits righty batters by 1 point extra, because he hits lefties at a 283 batting average. 282 batting average. He hits righties at a 283. So I would say maybe take Contreras for total bases and HRR at best, because those look like the better value, because plus is plus value even just for 2 total bases, and for him to get 2 HRR minus 115. But I would lean more towards I'll more likely take the plus 163. It's plus value. The question becomes, is he going to get it though against Shane? Even if he gets, like, say 2 in his first couple of at-bats against Shane before Shane comes off the mound, because he's not striking out that much. He's allowing a couple of hits here and there. It's just that he's not allowing so many earned runs all like that. But again, this is Boston. They've been getting earned runs. Showing you all again, they've been getting earned runs. And we're just talking about the first 5 alone. They have, just in general, 1, 2, 3 straight here. Head to head, just in general, just on the season, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games with 3 runs. Literally throughout the entire series alone. Technically, it's higher than that as far as the head-to-head in general since last year. So I just think, like, the Red Sox could potentially still get some runs today. But the question is, do they do that on a Sunday? That's right. Jones hit yesterday randomly, because the Red Sox were down. I think they were down like 6-3 yesterday. And then they came all the way back, because it was them in another game where the team came back and pretty much won the game. And remember, I did talk about taking my O's, Baltimore O's, to win the money line. I took them on the side bet. I didn't post it. And I was a full on, like, heart-wrenching, stress inducing spot where it went into extra innings, because it looked like, looked like our opponent was going to come back and win even before we went into extra innings. And then we ended up getting, I think, it was tied 2-2 in the 10th or something like that. We went into 11th inning, and then we scored 2 extra runs, and then we won the game. So, because again, I kind of felt like that we would have won. It was just, I didn't see us beating them 4-2, but both bullpens basically sucked. or should I say, basically, no, both bullpens did their job, should I say. Let me see. Rafala, because he's batting second. So maybe you take Rafala for, like, literally he's getting 2 total bases just in general. So maybe take him again today. He hits lefty pitchers, so this is good. He's hitting the 4-seam. He's hitting the changeup. He just struggles against it. 2 total base. His 3 HRR is a plus 172 because he got it here and here. I just don't know if he go back to back. He's averaging 2 against them just in general. He was batting great against them last year, but it was late season. This year, 1, 2, 2 and 1, 2 and 2, 2 and 3, 3 and 3, 4 and 3, 5 and 3, 6 and 3 to at least getting 2 HRR. So we're gonna get just 2 HRR. It is -125. I mean, if you have a 20% booster, you can take this as a straight bet and put the booster on there, because I know FanDuel will give you the little 20% booster. Let me see if they give me a 20% booster over here on my FanDuel. Okay, Andrew, he hits lefties too. That's what I'm saying. Boston, I feel like, really, honestly, could get some runs. It's just you're wondering how they're going to fare against Shane. Oh, sorry. I'm logging into FanDuel and I want to see if they gave me a booster or not. Looks like they did. What did they give me? Because they give you that little rewards joint. 20. So they gave me a 20% booster. So literally, if you, let's see, take that. Take that off. If I'm going to this game. I just want to see what I want to say it's going to be like -110 or something like that for who was it, Rafala, to get 2 HRR. -125. If I put the booster on there, it's a -105. That's great. 20% booster. You know what I mean? You throw 20, 30 on there, maybe 10. You know what I'm saying? Get back whatever on -105. He actually goes out there and gets it. Great stuff. So just putting it out there. I know people would rather use boosters on parlays, but I'm like, dog, just take the simplest win that you can get. Even if you're throwing 20 or 30 on that joint, take it. But that's pretty much all that I could talk about with this game. Really just feel like Boston could win. Boston could still score, you know what I'm saying, some runs. Because it was just a weird game yesterday. And with the way that it went, it could flip. Like Tampa could win this game by scoring a bunch of runs. Boston still scores around 4, maybe 5, but Tampa they get 6 or 7 runs and they win the money line. Because then on the money line, their plus value is +110 on the score bet app, +105 Fanatics, BetMGM, Caesars. So it's more of a push for Boston, who they are -120, 125, 123 on DraftKings. So that's what I'm saying. Currently, Tampa's on a 4-game losing streak. Even against Boston in general, they really don't do too well on the road. So, as I'm saying, Boston they're winning 64% currently. That's that one. Next up, trying to rush through these games. It's 10:30, basically almost 10:30. I'm gonna try to go another half hour, but I'm not gonna be able to get through every game. Because like I said, I do want to enjoy the rest of my Sunday. Like I said, I did talk about this game. Really, honestly, I feel like this game could go either way. I know this was the other game. Like, Braves were winning, and then the Rangers came back mid to late game, and then they won 7-5, if I remember correctly. So my question is, are the Rangers going to potentially get some runs against Grant? Because I was breaking this game down earlier, just trying to see if I can find any value. Because like I said, I did take the first 5 over because they pretty much are in a spot to potentially go over. Of course, the question becomes which team is going to win the first 5. But as here, 4-5 in the last 5. 2-3 though for the Braves, but at home 4-1 just in general at home, while the Rangers 3-2 on the road, 3 straight. Head to head 4-1 just in general, which includes last year, but 2-0 currently in the season. But then with like I said, Eovaldi pitching on the road, 2-3 in the last 5. When Holmes is pitching at home, 4-1 at home. So I'm just like wondering, are the Braves going to bounce back because of what happened late game yesterday or middle or whatever, where they came back, won the game 7-5. I was going to say that. Hold on, they scored a bunch of runs. Yeah, 7-6. So I'm just wondering if this over is going to hit again, because it looks like there's a lean towards the over. Yep, there's actually EV towards the over. So it's kind of low, but still kind of good value. Now, when you pitch 6% to the under, when you pitch on the road, 60% to the over. And then head to head, literally 5 straight, just 5-0, 2-0 to the over in the series currently this year. I'm just thinking like maybe you do take the over. It's a -118 BetMGM. If you have any other these prop books, maybe you take those. A little bit better value. Novik has the best value, 111. Let's see. Basically, both pitchers are above 500, but Eovaldi has 2 extra. Well, technically, he has a better record, 9-7. Another 111 on the innings pitched. 4 earned runs allowed, technically 4, but Eovaldi has the higher spot. Almost 9 hits per 9, 8 hits per 9. Yeah, I'm thinking the over as an extra bet. I was considering Michael for, was it total base? It's +110 for 2 total base. It's a -124 for 2 HRR, because he hits righty pitchers the best. He has 3 singles against Nathan and only struck out once. He's hitting the splitter and the curve. Again, this was what I was looking at earlier. So I was considering, like, should I take Mike for, say, plus value on the 2 total bases? He does hit on Sundays, 250 batting average. He definitely bats better against righties, 309 batting average. He just struggles during the day. Let's see. 4-1 in the head-to-head, 5-0, technically averaging 6 HRR in the last 5 home games. I'm curious, could you rely on Michael on this Sunday to get, say, 3 to 4 HRR if you're just going with that, just in case he weren't, he wasn't going to get the 5? Now, what is he doing on us? What has he done on Sundays? 3-2, but he's usually hitting around 2 HRR. Total base 2-3. So the HRR is looking more of a spot. Let's see. Nothing there. I really haven't looked at any batters for runs, because really honestly, really don't know if any batters are going to get any runs in, because literally they can get 2 hits and an RBI, and that will be the 3, and they don't get no runs in. It's just even harder for a batter to get 3 hits. Technically, just being honest, it's much harder for a batter to even get 1 hit, no matter who the batter is. So it's literally the hardest thing that a batter could do is just to get a hit, to get on base, even if it's just a single. So slight lean for him to go under a single. Maybe you do that. It's -105 on BetMGM. But I am liking his HRR for that +160. And that's the thing. Out of everything that I looked at, I really haven't looked at any too much. Find really too much of player prop here. Like I know Drake had 3. Yeah, he had 3 HRR yesterday. Kind of wondering if he will do the same today. Because it's like he's trying to get back into the groove of things. Head-to-head wise, he's averaging 2 total base. He is 2-0 against them currently. So maybe you just take him for 2 total base on the base value of just this season. For this series, he's getting total bases. So it's probably like a plus 100 even. Let me see. Whoops. Plus 105, excuse me. Plus 105 on BetMGM. Minus 105 on DraftKings. Better value over on BetMGM. I would say maybe you do take Drake for the 2 total bases because he's at least producing more so head-to-head wise. He's at least getting the 2 total base, right? And in the series, he's had nothing but positive return on the 2 total base. The only thing is that he has 1 hit against Nathan and 7 pitches thrown and 2 at-bats. No strikeouts, no nothing. He's hitting the splitter, which is great. He doesn't like the cutter or the curveball though. So this is still what you call it. But maybe he gets a single off of Nate in the first 5, and then he gets the other hit whenever the bullpen comes in the back half of the game. So that's what I'm saying. Literally, the best value would be really his 2 total base, because it is plus 105 on BetMGM, or minus 105 with the better value, because he's not. It's the thing, you could still maybe, if anything, maybe take him for 3 HRR, because he might even get that, because it's plus 140. He might only just get that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Like when he gets the HRR, it's just above 500, 4 and 3 to getting it, as far as like actually getting the HRR. 4 games he had 3, the other 3 he had 2. So let me look at Albies. Did he do anything yesterday? Nothing. He didn't do anything yesterday. He's 0-9 against Nate. Maybe you, well, hold on. I don't even think you can, let me see. Okay, will they even allow you to get? Okay, no, I don't like it. That sucks, because basically you're looking for him to strike out twice. And DraftKings has it at a minus 232. Because the underdog is great. That's technically great value from it, just to strike out even just once in the game. I just don't like it that DraftKings is a minus 232. Maybe you take Nate for a hit, maybe a single. Minus 110. There's the push there. He doesn't like the splitter, but outside of that, he hits the cutter and the curve. He's struggling in the month, but he hits on Sundays versus righties. You just got to see where he's batting out in the order. I may take him on a single. Again, it's a bit of a stretch. He did this last year. He's 1-1 against them. Maybe he gets another single today. I'm probably going to take that as a single bet myself. I like that. Let's look at Matt. Can't forget about Matt. He didn't do anything yesterday. Maybe he does something today. The only thing is, that's why I didn't consider him too much, because of the matchup. When I seen he was 2-13, I was like, oh man, I don't even know. Like, maybe I don't like that they're pushing for you to take him at a strikeout at for 2 instead of 1. And the only reason why they're doing it is because more recently in the last 10, anytime he struck out, it's literally 3 more recently. Like, technically it's 1, but for some odd reason, he's been swinging at a lot of whatever, and it's just not panning out for him. Now, as far as the spot, he hits the splitter, he hits the cutter. Great, right? That's what you want from a batter. But it's just that he doesn't like Sundays currently. He's struggling during the day. He isn't getting that much on the total base. Head to head, he's not doing too much against them. So consider maybe possibly, guys, Rangers might be the look again to win this game. They're more than likely plus value for them to win. Actually, no, they're favored. They are favored at a -120. This is for me, Fanatics. Atlanta or +105 to win. Like, literally, guys, being honest, I really feel like the over would be more of a play. If you feel like the Rangers will win again, take them. Now they're 1-1 in the series. They are 3-1 just in general as far as the matchup. But when it's pertaining to them facing off against the Braves in general, they're not that great. Let me see. This will work out too. Rangers versus Braves on Sundays all time since 2022. On the road. 1-0. 1-0. And technically that's wrong because, well, no, sorry, it's the day. So they're 1-0. They won 6-4 the last time they played, but again, this was pretty much 2 years ago. The over did hit. So if you want to use this one game as a basis for you taking the over, take it. I'm just kind of curious. Now I know Jacques, I know you went yesterday. Maybe he goes again today. Slider, four-seam, looking great. He doesn't like the curve. Struggles during the day. Doesn't like Sundays. That's why I'm saying, guys, could be all under still, but the away teams win most of these games. I may take a chance on this Texans to win the money line today. I just might. Duran, great batting average. He hits the slider and the sinker. Okay, head to head, he's not doing too well. 1-1 against them. Man, head to head, he's not doing well against as far as the HRR is either. So 1-1 in the series. Really nothing burger at all. He hits great during the day though. And he does hit on Sundays. Again, the wind is pushing out. So if you want to take, say, Jacques or Doran, because we know Doran can sometimes hit home runs, maybe even Jake. I'm just not sure about Brandon. Maybe Josh. And now Atlanta are looking better as far as home runs are concerned, as far as the odds. But I personally like higher odds like Albie 610, Smith 720, 770, Doran and Carter over 700. Even Josh is shy of 600 because I want to say people were pouring some money towards him. He was more than likely 600 a little higher hours ago. You can't forget about Wyatt. That's why he's a +400. That's what I'm saying. Like, I really, just being honest, I kind of think like the Rangers could win today in the midst of the Braves being on paper as the better team. But I still like the over much better than anything. It's like the better look. You, sir, don't like sliders or force. Well, technically just sliders. You're hitting the sinker in the forcing though. He hits on Sundays. So maybe you take him for HRR, two total bait. Again, probably more likely have to be a live bet if they don't have him in the game. I'm just like, honestly, just looking at everything. Mike, Drake, Smith, goes Philly. Let me look at because I haven't really looked at the pitcher weak spot in a long, like I've glanced at it here and there, but I haven't really been using this because this is more so for your usage for home run stuff. I know, look, Vladdy's he's in the weak spot. Dalton's in the weak spot. Colson's in the weak spot. Braden and Gritches is in the weak spot. But again, like I mentioned for this game, for the White Sox game, I do like Anunnaki and Clement for, say, a parlay for 2 total base or something, or 2 HRR. Okay, McMahon is in the weak spot. Sanchez, Freddie's in the weak spot. Kyle's in the weak spot. Okay, so whatever names you're seeing here, maybe you take them for a home run because they're in the weak spot. Harper's in the weak spot. Bohm's in the weak spot. Okay, we're waiting on the Mets to confirm their lineup. Could there be a potential for Schwarber and Harper to go at the same time today? Yes. Again, it's a Sunday. You never know. Nothing. Nope. Nothing here. I guess that's all of them. So this game, this Pirates Guardian game that went under the first 5. I remember I talked about this yesterday, that originally I had him at the first 5 over 2 days ago, but the game got postponed. And then I said I was going to keep the pick. And then yesterday live, there was the first game on the board. I broke the data down and I said, you know what? I actually like the first 5 under. I didn't put it in. And I knew that I should have. My gut was telling me to put it in during the stream, and I didn't do it. And it cashed. Literally, we won. So if you took the Pirates on the Monday line first 5, you won. We won 2-1 in the first 5 yesterday. So today, it's a new day with Paul Skeens on the board. We know Paul has been struggling this season as far as his earned runs are concerned. He's been allowing some earned runs. Even if it's just 2, he's still been allowing some earned runs. Now, here is where he mucked it up a lot. But he still also too had been allowing some hits too, even more recently. So the question becomes, with Paul facing off against the Guardians, and we know that Bazana, there's Chase, Reese could potentially still go off. Don't want to forget about Manzardo. David Fry's random. Daniel could potentially do something. So you can't forget about Rocchio and Bailey. So I'm wondering if, for my Bucks on the road, where we have, for the most part, been producing runs, producing wins, where we didn't win the second game. I talked about how I was going to take potentially, I didn't talk, I talked to one of my homies through a text yesterday, and I broke down the data yesterday, and I said I really like the Pirates to win the second game. Did not go that way, because when I went to bed and woke up the next morning and seen that we lost 5-3 in the second game, because that first game we went beautiful. We won 7-1, I think, if I remember correctly. Everything went great. Our rookie hit a home run, you know what I mean, all of that. So now this is an early game, 1:40 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The over-under is 7. They are still banking on Paul shutting down the Guardians. We're facing off against a lefty. As you see, some of our batters do hit lefty batters. And of course, you're automatically assuming, can the rookie hit another home run during this second to final weekend of July? Well, technically, it's the last weekend, really, because I want to say July 31st is... Yeah, July 31st is the final day before we walk into August that weekend, next in a couple of weeks. But I'm wondering, because I brought him up yesterday. You know what I mean, your boy, I said it, your boy might hit a home run, blah, 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 and he went out there and hit one. He's a plus 480 to go today. He hits lefties the best, but he has 1 home run extra versus righties. I'm kind of wondering if he's going to go again today. Should I take him for a home run on a single bet? That's my question for myself, thinking out loud. But of course, I do like his total base, +2, +155, +110 for just a simple 2 HRR. That's like the best bet on the board to me. I'm just not sure if he'll get 2 hits. Let me see. Sundays, he's 3-1 as far as getting a hit, averaging 3 total bases on a Sunday, averaging 4 HRR on a Sunday. Um, let's see. And he produces on the road. So I'm going to queue up the 2HR because I might take him on the 2HR. Like I said, if I do take him on a home run, it's going to be a side pick. I'm just like wondering if that's going to be something that I really do. I know Ryan showed up. Technically, in the first game, he had 2 hits. He had 3 total bases. He had a single. He had 4 HRR. In the second game, only 1 hit, no single, 2 total base. So I'm thinking like maybe today he potentially, maybe possibly might bounce back. Joey's been striking cats out. He actually pitches better against lefties. Now, again, we faced off against a lefty yesterday. He's a lefty again today. We did our thing, and again, this was the first game. We did our thing against the lefty in the first game. Really do feel like we can do it again in this game today against Joey. He throws the 4-seam, the changeup, and the curve the most. Technically, the 4-seam and the changeup. So Brandon, he only did his thing in the first game. 2 hits, 2 total base, 2 singles, 3 HRR. He had 2 HRR in the second game. I guess he walked. That has to be because he walked, because he has no total base, no hits in the second game, but he has 2 HRR. Literally, he walked. That's whack. I don't like it. He walked once. That's whack. It's trash. He struggles against the 4-seam, but he hits the curveball. He doesn't like the slider. Struggling on Sundays. He struggled versus lefties. But again, like I said, he produced yesterday versus that lefty. So I still feel like we can do something. I still want to say, really feel like we can produce some runs. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4 teams have scored 4 runs or higher when Cantileo pitched at home. Paul, 1, 2, 3, 4, same thing. 4 teams score 4 runs or higher. But when Paul pitched as a starter this year, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those games we scored 5 runs or higher. And it probably more likely giving us 5. Well, technically they're giving us 4. I like the value. 3 and 2. We couldn't get 4 yesterday. Again, this was the second game. Versus a lefty, 1 and 1. Versus lefty the last 10. Averaging 5. On the road versus a lefty, averaging 3. I still like 4 runs, just being honest. And actually, he's averaging 4 per 9. Same thing with Paul. So then the question becomes, could the over hit? Looks like the under's hitting more. 60% for you. 60% to the over when Cantileo pitches. I'm curious. I'm thinking out loud. Do I take the over for the Pirate game? It's plus value, 7.5. Plus 115 BetMGM. But again, remember, I keep saying it. There could be a bunch of unders again, but the away teams win today most of the time because of most of the home teams won yesterday. Or does the first 5 go under for a second straight game? Did the first 5 go over? I forgot to look at that. Actually, let's see. The first 5 hit in both games yesterday. See, they're giving this 4. Is it 4? No, they're giving it. Yeah, well, apologies. They're giving it 3.5 plus value. So let me see. 60% to the under when Paul pitches out on the road. 80% to the over when Cantileo pitches at home. We're talking about 4 runs plus value, because you could technically drop it down to 5. Again, it's juice, but you're still potentially still getting a win. But we're talking about Cantileo and we're talking about my Bucks. So if you don't feel like the first 5 over will hit, maybe you take us to get, say, 2 runs. It's juice, but still value. Here, head to head, we're 3-2. On the road, we are 70% hit rate. We're averaging 3. That's just in the last 10, averaging 3 in the last 5, 4 straight with just 2. I'm potentially possibly going to take us on the 2. I really like that. I'm going to cue that up. As far as the game, like I said, Valdez, I'm probably going to take him for more than likely the 2 HRR. That's what I queued him up for. +1 has jumped up. It's no longer 110, it's a 115. You could still possibly get Brian here. He might do something. He hits lefties. He's hitting the four seam. He's hitting the curve. So I can see him, you know what I'm saying? I gotta know what the lineup is, because I don't think they let me. Let's see. Did they? Okay, Guardians they did. Braves they did. Rangers. Okay, San Fran. Did San Fran win yesterday? Because I know no, they lost 4-3. Because I remember for San Fran, was Adamas was in the weak spot, pitcher weak spot yesterday. I remember that. And I was like, well, maybe I take him, and somebody even posted him in one of the discords that I'm in. I was like, I really should take him for home run, and I didn't take any. It was the only hit that he got. So, oh yeah, remember I talked about Jake and I talked about Gonzalez. They both hit a home run yesterday in the first game. Jake is a +700 for, actually it's a +1700. Yo. Hold on, it wasn't Jake. It was Gonzalez. Hold on. Could have sworn it was him. Double check. So no, it was Nick Gonzalez and Jacob Gonzalez. 2 Gonzalez's. They smacked. But you didn't do anything. So Jacob may not play today, which is kind of whack. He doesn't like Sundays though. I guess it's for the best. Maybe he doesn't play and he can kind of work on his Sundays. I'm gonna need Tyler to get in this game because he has a great batting average against lefties, even though he's only had six at bats. He just doesn't like the four seam. He bats well enough on Sundays. And like I said, he has a great batting average versus lefties. So I'm really gonna need our manager to be like, yo, we need to put your boy in, get him out there. Let me look at Henry. Thought I saw somebody talk about Henry in one of the discords that I'm in, but I didn't just wasn't sure. And he only had the 1 hit. Yeah, he only had the single. So maybe if he plays today, maybe you take him for another single. Maybe. Is Marcel doing anything? Well, he did. Well, that was the last game, not yesterday. 1 single. That's all he had was a single yesterday. +150 for a single today. No hits versus Cantilino. Just out of the 9 pitchers thrown his way, he's hitting the four seam at least, and the curveball technically. He's still hitting in the month. He's struggling on Sundays. He technically bats better against lefties. So there's potential. Maybe you do take him for a single. He's 1-0 currently against Cleveland. Yeah, I might. Maybe I'd do that. Maybe I'd take him and... Thought I saw somebody. Oh, maybe take Ozuna and Smith for a single on a parlay. But again, I would single bet both. I might do that. So that's really all. Let me look at Brand. You didn't do anything in the, what you call it, yesterday, but just a hit in a single in the second game. Okay, you do great on Sundays, so potential spot for him to actually produce is today. Possible. You don't like getting total bases against them. Not that much going on with a single. HRR, a little bit of production, 4 and 4 even. So we'll see. Maybe Rocchio does it. But of course, Travis, he produced in both games. A hit, 3 total bases, 2 hits, 5 total bases, a home run in the second game, a single in the second game. Did he strike out? He struck out 3 times yesterday. I don't know if he would strike out again. Again, it's Paul. You never know. Paul might be able to get more than his strikeout spot today. 7 at bats, batting in the 2-hole, 2 hits, no home runs. So really, you really take Bazana when he's leadoff, because that's where he produces most of his stuff. Paul's strikeout is 7. The push is 8. He didn't do anything last year. He allowed 6 hits last year. He allowed 2 runs last year. It's talking about the matchup. So I'm just wondering if Cleveland gets any runs against Paul. That's my question. Kind of pondering. But yeah, that's that breakdown. So Marlins, they were winning early. And then they lost 8-6. They scored 6 runs. Like, they scored 3 runs in the first 5, and then they scored 3 runs in the second half. But they lost because Brewers came back to actually decided to score some runs. Now, let me see. So Conan pinched hit twice. He's only batted to hit a home run. Hicks had 3 HRR. Jimenez had 3. Sonoja had 2. Lopez had 2. Stowers, Edwards, Hernandez, they didn't do anything yesterday. Ruiz he only had 2 at bats. He had 1 hit. Mac had 2 HR as well. For the Brewers, nobody hit a home run for the Brewers, but Yelich had 4 HRR. Churio had 5. Bowers didn't do anything. He struck out twice. Contreras had 2 HRR. Mitchell had 6 HRR. Pratt 2. Shoemake 5. This is gonna be the last game because that's my alarm going off. So for this game, with how random it went yesterday, do you potentially take the over? Because Yuri's pitching. Yuri usually produces. He's not allowing too many hits, not allowing hardly any runs, just in general more recently. So he just struggles to throw a slider, which he throws 3rd most, and he, you know what I'm saying, hardly ever throws his sinker. But let's look at this. Could there be a potential where the Marlins win today on basically what I want to believe is the final game of the series? I want to believe there's a possibility because Yuri, again, he's slated to be the starter. Now, Jack bats really great on Sundays, so there's potential for him to possibly get some total bases. And that's funny that they're giving him 1 total base at a -115 where they believe it can go either way. maybe you do put a little bit down on him to get one total base. I'm kind of, but again, they're only doing this because he's facing off against Yuri, right? Look at terrain. They too are giving him 1 TB. Why? Because he has 1 hit against Yuri and 6 at bats, 42 pitches thrown. He only struck out twice. That's it. Just 2 times in those 6 at bats. He's green against the pitch mix. And he too hits on Sundays. So I kind of feel like this could be a 50-50 spot for, say, the Brewers to win, maybe the Marlins. Maybe like Edwards bounces back today because Roberts pitching, he struggles against righties. He is struggling against both, but he is struggling more against righty batters, and he struggles more so because of the batting average. So for Miami, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 batters who are righties. What's pertaining to Yuri, he only struggles a little bit versus righty batters. Technically, yeah, all across the board. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 righty batters. No. Honestly, really being honest, I really think like the Marlins can bounce back. I'm just not sure if like William would do anything. Like if you would parlay the Contreras brothers together today, that may not produce anything for you today. He hits on Sundays. He is versus righties. So like literally on paper, the Brewers are looking good, especially on the day. Yelich, 3 straight 2 total base. Now that's funny. They're giving him 2 total bases, but they're not giving his teammates 2. They're giving his teammates 1, which again I find very interesting. So how about you potentially take Yelich for 2 total base? Because 3 straight. Now head to head he's struggling. I can see why it's plus 168. But he's on a stretch of 1 hit. Head to head, he's usually getting a hit. Look at Bowers here. Not too much on the head to head. His hit is a minus 115. The under is a minus 104. Oh, I'm like, what? Sorry, what is that? Got the show on in the background. Now I got it muted, but there's like a bunch of commercials going on. I mean, they don't call them commercials anymore, to call them ads, but I'm showing my own age. But yeah, like maybe, I don't know, maybe you take a risk, take Jake to get a hit, take Yelich to get a hit on a parlay. Maybe Brady may not be playing today. Hmm, 444. He doesn't like Sundays. Kurt. Relook at it. Gary may not play today. Again, that's the thing I forgot to mention because it's Sunday. We got to remember some players may not even play today because it's a rest day for some players. They call Sundays catcher Sundays too. Some catchers may go out here and really be the focal point of the offense for some of these teams. So there may be a few catchers out here that may possibly get some home runs today. Let me break down this final game. Yeah, see, look, like Brewers are still favorite, but I really kind of believe Marlins could potentially come back. Now they're on a losing streak, 5 straight in the last 5, 0-2 in the series. I want to believe that the Brewers can, that the Marlins can close out the series with at least 1 win. Head to head, they're not. Oh, let me see. let's look at them on the road. 2-1. So 2-3, just in general. We're talking about since last year, but on the season, currently they are 1-4 just for the season. They did score 5 runs twice. Excuse me, apologies, 3 times. So that's a positive. So are they giving them 5 or giving them 4? They're giving them 4 runs. It's juiced at a -130. Loving the value. So for the most part, they're averaging 4. And they're averaging 4 on the nose on the road against the Brewers. And on the road, just in general, they're averaging 7 runs. Now, them on the road versus a lefty, they're averaging 5. But that's the last 10. 6 in the last 10. 7 versus lefties between last year and this year. I really am more than likely going to take them on the run. Maybe I parlay Marlins and Phillies. Or maybe I just do this. This is nice. Plus 446. Nice little team parlay here. Maybe I just do this. I just might. I actually like that. Philly for 4 runs. Pirates first 5, 2 runs. And then Marlins for 4 runs altogether. Plus 446 on DraftKings. This is technically the best value outside of Hard Rock. I don't have Hard Rock. Second best value would be the ScoreBet app. I might just take this too. Might just put this together. See if it'll cash. And again, this is a risky bet because the Pirates, we're facing off against a lefty. Again, I'm only basing it off of what we did yesterday, just in the series that we're in. And I'm liking, like I said, I'm liking Philly, like I mentioned before. I'm liking the Marlins for the win. Really feel like they could bounce back and win the game. Plus value, plus 110 on FanDuel. It's just, again, as always, it's what's going to happen in the back half of the game. What are their bullpen going to do against this Brewers offense that can still score some runs here? And let's see, Brewers against the Marlins, they scored 4 runs or higher twice in the series, but the Marlins scored 4 runs or higher 3 times. So 1 extra game. We're talking about just in general between last year and this year. So I'm gonna because I really honestly believe what you call it could bounce back. Where's he at? Him and even potentially Stowers maybe. Now he doesn't like lefties. He doesn't do well against lefties. Again, this is outlier. Even in the head-to-head, he doesn't like lefties. He produced back here, but in the month he's struggling versus lefties. Let's see, where was Edwards? Here you are. Pretty much been getting hits every game. He didn't get one yesterday. Versus lefties, he hits versus lefties. Head-to-head, 1-1. He went 0-2 yesterday. And then lefties on the road, still hitting 70%. So I think like I said, he can bounce back, get a like 2 HRR or something like that. Let's see. What if plus 142 for them to cover? Not doing it. 2, 2, and 1 to cover the plus 1. 1 and 4 to covering again, plus 1. So then if I take the higher, minus 1 or 1.5, so it'll be a plus 180. So you're 3 and 2 to cover the plus 1.5. When you pitch by the end of the game, you are only 1 in 4 to covering a -1.5, 2 and 3 ATS. But they scored 9 and 14 here, more recently when he pitched. And you only did 2 games with 4 runs. 2 of those games against the opponent, they scored higher, but this was between last year and this year. That was the Dodgers, though. I'm probably, like I said, going to take the chance on the Marlins to score the runs, see what happens from there. Outside of that, outside of everything, maybe you, like I said, maybe you still take Edwards for HRR. Now he's been struggling more recently, but I kind of feel like he'll bounce back. He hits lefty pitchers. He's hitting the four seam, doesn't like the sweeper. And also to consider the under for this game because it's still potentially still hit. I forgot to mention that. There's more of a lean to the over. Oops. See, the over hits 70% when Yuri's pitching as a starting pitcher. When Gasser's pitching at home, 3 and 2. But technically on the season, 1 and 2. Or excuse me, 2 and 2. So, and they literally only won. Well, they won 3 of those games. Technically 3 straight. But only one of those games they scored 4 runs or higher. But I want to say they're going to give the Brewers 5. What are giving them 4? Okay. But I am gonna more than likely, like I said, take Marlins for 4 runs because I love that value. It's just kind of wondering if the Brewers are gonna once again score a bunch of runs, or it's gonna be a low scoring game. It goes under the 8. Brewers still pull the win because they're favored -130. Marlins are +110. So we'll see. But that's pretty much all that I have. I ran through half of the slate, a little bit close to half. That's the one thing that I forgot, because when I was looking at the game yesterday during the live stream, my gut was telling me to take the Royals to cover the run line or to win the money line, and I'm mad at myself that I didn't do it because they beat the Padres. The reason being is because Padres, like they were winning the game before. Royals came back and won. And I was looking at the data. I was like, I kind of feel like the Royals can do it again. And my gut was telling me, do you need to put this in? Whether run line or money line or whatever. And I didn't do it. So now today, with potentially more than likely the final game of the series, didn't need to click on you. They are favorite to win. -116. Padres are +100. The question becomes, do they win this game? Now, head to head, 3 and 2 against the Padres, 2 on the road, 2 at home this year, 1 on the road last year. 3 of those games, 6 runs or higher. But 3 of those games as well, they allowed 5 runs or higher. I'm just not sure if the Padres themselves would get a bunch of runs today. These cats may not even be playing today, so they struggle against righty pitchers, while the Padres are looking better on paper. Look at Noah here, lefty. He gets some strikeouts. He's allowed some hits. And he's also allowed some runs. So maybe the Padres bounce back today, because Noah's been allowing some runs. Look at Marquez. Not too much on the hits. A little bit of allowing some runs, but that's on the back end. More, he hasn't really been allowed. Like, he's averaging 3. He's averaging 3 strikeouts. He had back-to-back with 4. So 2-1 in the month. So that's a positive, but he struggles versus lefty batters. And of course, you got Carter, Jacques, Perez. There's Josh. That's pretty much all the lefties. For you, you struggle against both, but more so to lefties. They have Bogart. No, excuse me. Merle, Jake, Gavin, who may or may not be playing, and that's it. And Song, who also may not or may not be playing. So I'm thinking there's a potential for, but I gotta see if the bullpens are going to potentially shut anything down once these two come off the mound. But I'm still kind of thinking like the under may hit. There's more of a lean to the over. He's 2-2, 2-1 on the year to the under. And then Noah, when he pitches at home, 60% to the over, but last 5, 80% to the over when he's pitched at home. And the opponent has scored 6 runs or higher in 4 of those 5 games. With Marquez in the last 5 on the road, only 2 have scored 4 runs or higher. That was the Rockies last year, but just in general on the year, just 1, and that was Arizona back in April. But they scored 5 runs or higher on the season all 3 times. And they won all 3 times. When we look at Cameron, again, this is on the season 1-1, 1-2, 2-2 when he's pitched, and they scored, you know what I'm saying, a bunch of runs with him on the mound. I'm wondering. Now, last 5 just in general, 1, 2, just 2 times. But again, we're talking about him on the road. I mean, excuse me, him at home. I don't know. Maybe, who knows? Maybe Kansas City can still get some runs. They're giving them 5. They're giving San Diego 5. I can see why they believe that the over is going to hit. I don't know. We'll see. That's pretty much all I can find. I know Fernando, he hit a home run yesterday. I don't know if he'll go back to back. Hit the 4-seam changeup in the cutter. He hits on Sundays versus lefties. If you feel like he'll go again, take him again. It's plus 425. But it's just that he only has 5 home runs all year. So there's that. Not anything too productive from his side. They're automatically giving him 2 hits. So maybe he gets 2 hits. Maybe he gets 2 singles. He had 3 2 days ago. Plus 413 for him to get 2 singles. And look at Merle. They're giving him a plus 524 home run. Again, he only has 10 home runs on the year. He was doing a little bit between the end of May and early July. Didn't do anything, and then he hit back-to-back the beginning of this month. Since then, he hasn't done anything. Doesn't like getting total bases. I don't know. Really, guys, I'm really believing like maybe the under hits, but I can see why they believe that the over would. But it'll probably have to happen late game. He too is hitting on Sundays. Sorry, I'm clearing something on my phone. I could technically do it later or in a moment. But yeah, I think literally, guys, I think honestly, I'm thinking out loud, maybe the under hits, and Kansas City, maybe they pull this win tonight or today, excuse me, because on paper they have 3 lefties who he struggles more wit. He still struggles against righties. Now Noah has potential to possibly give up some runs because he's been allowing some hits and he's been allowing some runs. So San Diego still on paper could potentially get 4, 5, 6 runs today, win the game, but the over hits because they get maybe 6 runs and Kansas City gets 4, and that's the 10 right there. You know what I'm saying? Or 6-5 or whatever, and it goes 1 run over. I'm just thinking out loud on what potential could possibly happen, but I don't know. I really don't know if Jacques is gonna go because he hasn't gone in only but 1 time. Maybe just take him for 2 total bases, minus 104. That's great value there for the 2 total. I guess this is a minus 130-ish, maybe 140 for 2 HRR. He's hitting the 4-seam. He struggles in the month, excuse me, in the day, but he's hitting righties. He technically bats batting third. This is where he bats the most at, in the 3-hole. But outside of that, really not seeing too much of anything. Like I'm gonna say it again. Yesterday, most of the home teams won yesterday. A lot of unders hit yesterday. It could flip today. Could be most away teams winning and still most of the unders hitting today. It's Sunday. Sundays are weird. Be cautious, be careful, single bet everything. Don't rely too much on parlays. Those are supposed to be for fun. Single bets are where your true profit's going to come from. I get it. Everybody wants to chase and turn $5 into 10 grand. But when you really think about it, who is out here really making and turning $5 into 10 grand consistently off of parlays every single month, every single year that they're betting? Who here? The percentage is super small, but the percentage of people winning on single bets every single month of every single year is much higher. So single bet your most thought-provoking, gut-wrenching, data-driven, all of that. Wrap it all in one. Single bet the picks that you personally believe has a potential chance of cashing for you. Single bet those and hope for the best that they all, or most of them, will cash for you. The only other thing, because again, my Brewers won yesterday. Maybe we don't win today. Maybe. Okay, his walking is 2. Well, they're not gonna let me. They're probably not gonna let me bet him to get 2 walks. It's a minus 122. Okay, I might take him to get 2 walks today. Maybe. Hold on. Let me relook at that again. He's actually walking lefty batters at a higher percentage. And they have basically just 2. But again, maybe he still will walk somebody. Because Hunter Brown's on the mound. More recently, he allowed some hits. We were hitting him up 2 seasons ago. Same thing, runs 2 seasons ago. 2 starting games back to back with 3 runs earned or higher. He got lit up here against Tampa Bay on the 4th, but that was the 4th. And then the 10th, he allowed 4 hits, 3 earned runs, but he had 4 Ks and 6 innings pitched. He struggles against the lefties, which we have a bunch. So Sam, Gunnar, Colton, Adley, maybe Tavares comes in late, maybe he pinch hits. Jackson, he didn't do anything yesterday. Did Adley do anything yesterday? Because I really didn't get a chance to look. I just was paying attention to the score itself. Now he's a positive. One home run, 1 single against Hunter. That's good. He hits righties. He's hitting the 4-seam. He's hitting the changeup. I just wanted to break down this last game before I get out of here. He just struggles on Sundays. So I really, again, with the way yesterday went, kind of thinking that we might lose this game. Just thinking out loud. Again, might. There's no guarantee. I know I talked about Christian yesterday. He didn't do anything. I had him on my list, and he didn't produce. Maybe he does it today. Positive against Brandon. 1 single, 1 2-bagger, 1 home run. Sorry. Not to continue watching that. And struggles at home, but hits during the day. Struggling in the month. He struggles on Sundays. A little bit of struggle on versus righties. I don't know, guys. Maybe you, because again, the under hit yesterday. Maybe you take the under. Another under game. If we pull another win, I'll gladly take it. Like, gladly take it. The over's hitting 60% when Brandon pitches. When Hunter's pitching at home, the under's hitting 80%. Oh, come on. There's no head-to-head. I was going to say. Head-to-head, the over's hitting 58%. On the season, though, the under has hit 3 of the 5 games we've played against Houston. 2-0 to the under in the series. I'm really honestly believing that the under potentially could hit again. The books slight lean towards the over. And I'm guessing because it might be due to maybe Brandon. Because again, when he's pitching on the road, the over is hitting 60% of the time. Now we've scored just in the season 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games of 4 runs or higher. Our opponent only 2 games, 4 runs or higher. But again, the over is still cash because we got a bunch of runs. But we're facing off against Hunter, who, just in general on the season, 3 games, 3 straight starts at home. But he's technically 3-1 for the team as a whole, scoring a bunch of runs. And only 1 team scored 4 runs or higher, and that was against Tampa Bay on the 4th. But again, that was the holiday. That was a random spot where a bunch of stuff happened. Since then, I want to say not too much. So, I don't know. Like, honestly, kind of thinking that we might possibly lose this game. But maybe, like I said, maybe the under still hits. So I'm gonna more than likely take this under and see if it'll cash. I'm actually liking this 4-leg now. We'll see. But anyway, I'm about to be out because I'm gonna go lay down for a little bit, and then I'm gonna eat my lunch in about a little over a half hour, 40 minutes from now, and then chill and get ready for watching these games. But thanks for coming through. Thanks for coming through, Black Razcat. Oh shoot, I didn't even see your comment, Razcat. I apologize. You had talked about Cheerio getting a double. Maybe you'll watch this later because I missed it. Well, head-to-head, he loves getting a double, but this was last year's numbers, though. On the season, currently 0-2 in the head-to-head. Only 2 doubles in the last 8. Okay, Sunday, back-to-back. Okay, maybe that's the reason why you were asking about the double, because he hit 2 doubles back-to-back on Sundays. And he has a double against Yuri. So maybe you do. Okay, cool. Maybe you do take him for the double plus 385. Maybe again, it's looking to me when I see stuff like this is what I talk about when I talk about why I take certain risks in betting from my betting journey. When I see stuff like this, he head to head He's averaging a double, right? But he's 0-2 on the season, right? He, in his matchup against Yuri, he got a double. And on the day, back to back on the season, he's had a double in the past 2 Sundays. He didn't get any prior to that, but he has 2 doubles in back-to-back spots. But we still got to break down Yuri's own data when it's pertaining to his starts. Let's look at this. He's allowed a double in his last start. Nothing on the 5th. So that was this month. He only allowed 1 double this month. Nothing on the 30th. Nope. Nothing on the 24th. Last time he started again was the 27th. Nothing there. So it's just more recently. Well, he did allow 1 on the 17th. So it's definitely I would say a small percentage of a chance of Chourio getting the double, and it's solely because of the matchup and solely because he hit 2 doubles back to back. So if you feel like he'll get the double, I would say take it, but you would just bet low on it. I wouldn't put, 20, 30, 40 down. I would put just 10 down or 5 down, and maybe he'll get it. But again, it's literally based on what he did in the last 2 Sundays and the head-to-head. And again, like I said, we looked at it. Yuri did get allowed double in his last start on the 11th. Maybe this rolls over into this matchup here. So yeah, and then on top of that, like I said, when we're looking at the data on paper, a lot of the batters do bat really well on a Sunday, and I think Chourio is one of them, right? Yeah, like Chourio bats really well on a Sunday too. So your read is it's there. The hope is that the human will do what the data is showing, because again, this is a potential spot for him to do it. There's no guarantee that he will. There's no guarantee that he'll hit another double for the rest of the year, but the hope is that maybe today he'll go for a 3rd straight Sunday and he'll get a double. So I would, if I were you, I would just throw, I don't know, $5 or $10 on that double. Maybe he gets it. Hopefully he does, and you'll walk away with a win. So yeah, that's pretty much how I would look at that and break that down. But yeah, all right. Thanks for coming through, dude. Appreciate it. Hopefully I won't, well, let me see, because I go back to work tomorrow if I have any strength, because I pretty much laid down. I was in bed most of the day yesterday. I got a little bit of a housework to do around the house here, which I'm probably going to do right after lunch, and then I'm just going to be chilling again. I got a comic book over there I need to read. It's Batman comic book I gotta read. I bought that thing like a month ago, and I'm like sitting right there over there next to my bed. I gotta read that thing. But yeah, yeah, you're welcome. But maybe I'll do that today. And I got this puzzle that I'm a big Star Wars fan. I got a Star Wars puzzle sitting over there talking about. I need to do that too. It's just that when I get home from work, I'm just super tired, and all I'd be trying to do is just chill, watch some shows, eat some chocolate, rest up, get back on my feet to go back to work for another 9 hours, 10 hours, whatever. So, but anyway, enough of my rambling. I am out. If I have any energy, I'll be live again tomorrow, because there's night games tomorrow. I think it's a big slate tomorrow. Looks like another 30 teams are playing tomorrow. We play the Red Sox tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see. I don't think they got any. I'm just double checking. Oh wait. No. There's only 4 games that have potential pitchers slated to play. Ooh. I may already have my first pick tomorrow. It's literally, I'm automatically possibly thinking that the under may hit in this game, because Ashcraft and Will Warren are pitching tomorrow, slated to pitch for the Pirates and the Yankees tomorrow. So I may take this as an under. And literally, this is as soon as I seen the names, I was like, maybe this goes under. But we'll see. But I'm out. Y'all stay safe, stay humble, take care of yourselves, your family, friends, and loved ones. Be kind to one another. And let's hope for the best for today. Let's enjoy these sports. And I'll hopefully talk to you all next time. Stay safe, stay humble. Peace, guys. Peace, dude. And everybody else.